And now, it's time for a Star Trek story. You know, we've been talking about libations.
Mm-hmm.
And this makes me think about Star Trek.
Yeah, me too.
You know, it's basically, alcohol, weed. Mm-hmm. It's just another
Romulan ale.
Dragon Vice.
Oh, it's great.
It's been making me think about myself as a human being, the kind of character I have, and who I want to be going forward. So, Aaron, what do you think makes a good recurring character on a television show?
A good recurring character. I think, a name is nice. If you get a little fame attached to it, that's good. Someone that can come in and be like a little splash of pow. That's a good recurring character.
Strike one.
No? Damn.
Okay.
A good recurring character. Let's think on this.
This is episode 17 of Star Trek Stories. I'm, as always, your illustrious host, Jaron Hatch, joined here by my lovely co-host, Aaron Cole. Hello, Aaron.
Hello, Jaron. Hello, people. How we doing?
Yes, we are watching Hiding Q today. This is going to be one of our first recurring character episodes, I think, ever. I don't think we've really gotten into, hey, here's who's shown up again in a real way yet on all the episodes we watched.
I don't know. Spock showed up more than twice, I'm pretty sure. I think Spock.
Fame is a good precursor for a recurring character.
Not required.
No, but I was thinking about me reoccurring on this show.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like,
you're like,
well, I don't have any
hard
of
no.
that. That's strike one for me.
See. But we're also kind of for Brian Darcy James. He didn't really have a lot of pedigree before this show.
Or Colmeany.
Yeah.
Colmeany.
Jake, are you our Chief O'Brien?
Oh, man. I would be honored
to be Chief O'Brien.
Fuck, man.
Hey, you want to be Chief O'Brien? Yeah.
I'll be Chief O'Brien.
Sure.
Do you? He goes through some of the heaviest shit.
Yeah.
He's so lovable. Who doesn't love Chief O'Brien?
Oh, he's the best.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, so we are making good progress in our look at the growing pains of the next generation. And last time we watched Where No One Has Gone Before with our good friend Scott Tugfield, and oh boy, I think, Aaron, if ever we got into it,
Oh, man. We went deep. We went too deep.
Oh, my God.
Just deep enough. We swam in the deep end for a while. It was nice.
we went deep into that rabbit hole of philosophy and what is and thoughts and
what
the universe
be.
And
TNG has a tendency to do that.
Oh yeah,
it's very thought provoking, and it's moral compass and ethics and whatnot.
Yeah,
philosophy.
Yeah,
I figured out something recently. I have nothing against Will Wheaton at all. Just I don't like Wesley Crusher.
Wesley Crusher.
That's it.
I think he gets better as he goes, but especially early, it's like, oh no, it's not good.
I actually enjoy watching the Ready Room for the most part. He's got good guests, and he's an entertaining host for the most part. Sometimes he's really mugging that energy. Like, what's up, everybody? I love what I'm doing. Welcome to the show.
So, Crusher.
I'm getting paid. But yeah, he's not bad.
He's not bad.
It's just Crusher that I'm
Wesley.
like, why
Shut
are
up,
you
Wesley.
here?
My God. Fun episode. I think we're going to, in a weird way, we're going to get into some different kind of higher being cosmic stuff again in this episode. Because once again, our good friend Q is back. Mm-hmm. And as we kind of said before, we're going to be looking at all these Q episodes on Star Trek The Next Generation. And the friend who's going to come do that for all these episodes is our good friend Jake Barnes.
Yes.
Hello, Jake.
Hello. Hello. Glad to be here. Glad to talk about Q.
Yeah. When I was like, I want to assign certain people to the some of the plot lines that come up, And just like, so I've been having everyone in mind for certain things, like who might be fun to come talk about. And I was like, Jake's got to come talk about Q. Just because I think you're still a relatively recent Star Trek fan, but you really love, especially Next Generation, but you just love, love it so much. And then, all three of us, but Jake, I feel like we've always had lots of conversations about, we talk about music, we talk about art and all these kind of things, but then we always kind of just talk about like, what is this all, what's the real power of all this stuff, The fun thing about Q is that he kind of embodies this kind of idea of the test, the struggle, the thing you got to prove yourself against. And Q kind of is this weird embodiment of that meaning. And I feel like in a lot of the conversations you and I have, we've got into a lot of that stuff together over the years.
Yeah, definitely. Q is, like you said, the embodiment of that power. And we've also had discussions on the concept of being omnipotent just in itself, what that would entail, what that would be to visualize and conceptualize. Is it even possible for us mere mortals to even fully comprehend an omnipotent being?
I would submit not. You can think about it.
No, I don't think our brains are even made for that.
Yeah, right.
Like
valiant effort by TNG.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something that seems hardly reachable, at least at this point in time. We can barely get like our world's energy together. Let alone
barely.
Yeah, barely.
They bring up this idea of the Q continuum. It's never just one of them. There is this kind of, allusion to that Q is part of this larger. It's somehow not just Q, because there is this kind of association with the continuum and they are all Q. We haven't gotten into a lot of that stuff yet, but there is this kind of like, it's not just Q.
No. It's not. Yeah, he talks about the continuum, and he often refers to himself as we the Q, not I the Q. So
and he's already gotten in trouble with the Q in that last episode that we watched. Big trouble. Broke his own rules, and they were like, nope, can't do that. They zapped him away.
We're gonna get into some of that this episode. Yeah, last time you were here, we watched the TNG premiere Encounter at Farpoint, the very first episode.
Yes.
And Q shows up. It puts him on trial for the crimes of humanity, and then it becomes this whole test thing of like, are you worthy? Have you moved beyond
yes
what you are? And then like they demonstrate, hey, humanity is worth fighting for. We're great. We've proved you wrong. He's like, all right, I'm gonna leave, but I'm definitely going to come back. Like, this isn't over yet.
I'm glad they're revisiting him, because it seems like that episode, the story almost kind of took a backseat. It was on the back burner. And what was in our face was the stark contrast from the original series. It was a vehicle to give us all of the things we needed to know that were different about this. So I'm glad we're revisiting Q, because now this can be in the front seat and we can experience Q on a deeper level and try and understand what Q is, why Q is. Yeah.
I guess on that same note, like, I guess that's what's kind of fun about, like we kind of were getting to earlier, what makes a good recurring character. Q's our first really big one. Really prominent recurring character. It's like, and this is an idea worth bringing up multiple times. It'll be interesting to see how this develops over time, like in its own little pocket, because TNG is very episodic, but there is this larger Q storyline, but the episodes themselves are very episodic. So it'll be interesting to see how they tell us one big story, but each story is its own self-contained story. But there's a larger, if you've seen all of TNG, you know, spoilers, there's a larger arc to all this Q stuff that carries over the whole show.
No fucking point.
And arguably beyond.
I'm not going to finish it now.
Forget it.
Spoilers. Thank you. Show that's been on since the 80s.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun idea to, I guess, bring back. It'll be It'll be fun to see as we go over all these episodes over the next several weeks how this idea plays out.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited because Encounter at Farpoint has some moments that are semi-enjoyable.
Oh, yeah. Some great Picard moments in there.
Yeah.
Early on.
Yeah.
All right. If you're going to judge us on our failings of the past or whatever.
Well, that's enough, damn it!
Yeah. Take those nuggets that were watchable and let's make an episode out of those. Let's explore that humanity.
For sure. Well, should we get into this episode?
Let's get into it.
See if it gives us any insights as to what makes a good recurring character and maybe what makes Q a good recurring character.
Q.
Strike two.
Yes. Yeah. So this is the first appearance of Q from the James Bond franchise in a very interesting crossover.
Oh.
Nice.
Wow.
Don't touch that, Picard. Put that down.
Don't touch that 007. Oh, different Q.
Oh.
Different Q.
Same
Very
letter.
different.
Huh.
Different Q.
Different Q. So yes, this is the episode Hiding Q. This aired November 23rd, 1987. This is the 11th episode produced for the first season, so we're about the middle in terms of when they were making it. This, of course, is the second episode to feature Q, who goes on to make many appearances in The Next Generation. And it's going to be really interesting to see how they do it in the show. This is your invitation to watch. Star Trek The Next Generation is streaming on Paramount Plus. You can find it by bringing up Season 1, Episode 10, and we'll be back after we watch Hide and Q.
Why these games?
Why these games? Well, the play's the thing. And I'm surprised you have to ask when your human Shakespeare explained it all so well.
So he did, but don't depend too much on any one single
It's a pity you
viewpoint.
don't know the content of your own library. Hear this, Picard, and reflect. All the galaxy is a stage.
World, not galaxy. All the world's a stage.
Oh, you know that one. Well, if he were living now, he would have said galaxy. How about this? Life is but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
I see. So how we respond to a game tells you more about us than our real life. This tale told by an idiot. Interesting, Q.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Perhaps maybe a little Hamlet?
Oh, no, I know Hamlet. And what he might say with irony, I say with conviction. What a piece of work is man. How noble in reason, how infinite in faculty, in form, in moving, how express and admirable, in action, how like an angel, in apprehension, how like a god.
Surely you don't see your species like that, do you?
I see us one day becoming that, Q. Is it that which concerns you?
Well, I guess speaking of Jingle All the Way, the Arnold Schwarzenegger classic,
Oh yeah.
we might as well talk about Star Trek.
We watch it every Christmas.
Yeah.
I always kind of forget about it. That's a good one to add to the list.
It's a good one.
Annual watch.
Well, it's a one.
It is a Christmas movie you could watch.
Starring Arnold.
All right, my God. Hide and Q. We'll do our initial thoughts. Jake, initial thoughts on Hide and Q.
Fun. It was fun to sit here and watch that with the both of you. Wow. How do I put this into a... How do I summarize this?
I know.
I had a really good time watching it. It's not the best episode of Star Trek or television, but it had its moments that had me really enjoying what I was watching. Even right now, I'm watching Q being portrayed as a bubble with 3 scorpions coming out, or cobras coming out of the top of it. And then he just pops up with this bad hair dye. And
He nails the high galactic dork of the week haircut.
yeah.
Oh, my God.
The Star Trek
Absolutely.
Admiral haircut.
Yeah, fun, but not the best episode of television ever.
No. Not quite.
Aaron, Hide and Q.
Hide and Q. Oh man, we had to go back to Shakespeare at some point. Oh my. We're pulling from Shakespeare. We're going back to the roots.
Roots.
The Roots, yeah. God, my God, how much this became just basically just like, let's just do Shakespeare. We're out of ideas. Let's just do Shakespeare. Literal Shakespeare lines.
That Patrick
themes
Stewart
just,
guy.
I'm sure they were throwing that around a lot. The themes just feel so Shakespeare-y. And they just went for it.
You know, we've talked on the show a bit about there is a Shakespearean quality to it. And then they seem to go a little literal with it, with all the quote drops.
Do you think they pander at times because Patrick Stewart is such a great Shakespearean actor that they're like, we gotta throw him some Shakespeare just so we can put on camera Patrick Stewart doing some Shakespeare?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what got him the role, is being a Shakespearean actor. At some point, this is not the last time they do Shakespeare stuff with Picard or Patrick Stewart. He sneaks in a few more.
Q2, quite the Shakespearean actor.
Yes.
Yeah, that scene was interesting. Like, in a vacuum, it's a really interesting... That was probably the best scene in the whole episode, I would say. That scene when they're in Picard's ready room and, like, him and Q are... It's silly because of how much Shakespeare they're dropping, but, like, it's a really... It's played so well by both of them. They are both at the top of their game. I would definitely say VIPs of the episode, once again, come down to Patrick Stewart and John Delancey for doing the best with the material.
Oh man. So as we're watching it, as I've been listening to the podcast, because I've been listening to the podcast a bunch.
Oh, thank you.
I want to quickly summarize, because there have been times where I've watched or listened to the podcast episode but not been able to watch the episode. But I still want to kind of get some idea. So we're in another Q episode. Q shows up. He's ready to take the Enterprise hostage. He gives Riker many powers and sees what he will do with it, in essence. That's kind of the episode in a nutshell, for those that didn't watch it. Looking out for you.
You know what I was, so you get the story of Q granting Riker all these powers. The thing that kind of went through my head in this episode as I was watching it was this kind of idea of like Rumpelstiltskin. In this episode, this is kind of how Q feels to me. It's not like a 1-to-1 parallel. Just kind of like, but this idea of this like little trickster that shows up in your life. In a Rumpelstiltskin's case, he's like, I could weave all this gold and blah, 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 like, and then there's like the whole, like, in that case, like, what's my name, and Rumpelstiltskin. You'll never get it, but like the whole spell is if you can say the creature, if you can like name the creature, then you have the power over it, and it falls. And I feel like you kind of see that, particularly in this episode, with how they characterize Q. He feels very much like a trickster in this episode, even compared to the last one. It was a little different in the last one.
Yeah, different vibes.
There is a sense of desperation I get from Q in this one. He shows up much more purposeful than when we see him encounter at Farpoint. It seems almost like a chance encounter in the first one, and this one here is extremely deliberate, and it feels like things in his world are on the line in regards to this challenge that he's putting forth to the humans. So the stakes are higher for him right off the bat.
I agree.
Yeah.
He does a really good job of playing that, but like trying to hide that. As if he's just, when he first shows up, he just feels so in control of the situation. And then by the end, you see just like how when Picard calls him out for being this is where like the naming comes in. You're a flim flam man, and he
Flim flap man.
jerks the hood down. It's like, oh, you've exposed him for what he really is. He's just fucking with him. And it's almost like we had this wager, and you said if this happened, you'd leave, and I won.
Yeah.
And it's like, curse him, and the
You also
elf
see him-
creature disappears into the nether.
I mean, like Riker
reacts-
calls it too. Like early on, when he first gets his powers, he's like, "What do you need, Q?" And he calls his bluff right then. Q persists anyway. Yeah, it's all very clear to Riker, but then he gets tempted by the powers, I guess. Yeah.
He reacts very negatively. Q reacts very negatively to in the scene where where Picard and Q are exchanging Shakespeare at each other. There's this. They kind of allude to the fact that humans may eventually evolve to the point of being gods one day, and you see Q take that very personally, and he even tosses the book back at Picard in defiance of that notion. And I think that kind of is that's Q's whole reasoning for being there, is in that moment of him tossing the book back in defiance. Looking at this from a script perspective, the script's not very good in this episode. They're still getting the characters together. There was a moment like Commander Riker asks Data when they first get on this planet. I forget exactly the exchange, but he essentially asks Data where we are. And Data says, well, obviously, we're on an M-class planet. And it's like Data would not respond with, obviously. He would just say, M-class planet, da-da-da, and just like list the facts. He wouldn't have this like kind of snark before it or anything that wasn't just the facts. So I think they're still finding their footing in that sense. Worf is very surface level.
He's all over the
My
place
God,
too.
yeah.
His blocking, like in the first part when he hops over the bridge, his little newsy flip. Like,
Yeah.
haha, I get you.
Props to Michael Dorn. Yeah.
I will say, going into like how they haven't quite found the character's footing yet, they all mostly get something to do in this, even if it still just kind of feels like just a stock version of the characters. They still all feel very similar to when we watched the first episode, Jake. Like, I feel like very little has been like revealed about these characters that makes me feel any differently than how they were in that first one.
Particularly Worf, I think.
Yeah, and here's the thing, like, one of the things I also thought about when I watched this, I'm like, here is one of the blunders in the first season, one of the big blunders. Worf was a last-second addition to the show. And it makes sense why you would put a character like that on there, but he was not initially a big part of the show. And then he ends up kind of stealing a lot of what should be Yar stuff. Being like taking the phaser and responding to the threats at hand. Like, if Yar's the security officer and she's there, it's like, why they haven't one character they have done nothing with is Yar. I feel like everyone else at least has still some stock version of themselves, but Yar just feels like a blip on the radar as far as the show is concerned. And even when like there are situations where like, here we go. Q's got a game for him. Yar, here we go. Instantly zapped away, and Worf takes all of her stuff, and it's like,
Yeah.
and it's just like this kind of there's this parallel universe where Worf never showed up and Yar stayed with the show, and it's hard to say like which one would be the better outcome. We can't see the Yar universe, but we all love Worf now, of course. But it's also kind of a shame. It's like, because you added Worf, who goes on to become a great character, you basically instantly sabotage Yar right from the beginning, and she doesn't get to. That was one thing I noticed watching this. I'm like, Dad, Yar. She has that one scene with Picard, and it's her just like, I can't do anything. It's like, yeah, you fucking can't do anything. I'm so sorry. That's so awful, fucking writers.
That's interesting. Yeah, they several times in the first season too, they give her moments where Picard turns around and is like, "Are you serious?" Like,
Yeah.
she's makes very questionable decisions as a character. Not great. Not a lot of fun.
It's
And
too bad.
questionable decisions as a performer in some points.
Huh.
We mentioned during watching it, sometimes she has the tendency to act over the people around her. She'll chime in at a very different volume, very different stakes than everyone else around her. Things matter at a very different level, almost like we said earlier. Well, you people don't know that. We said earlier that it was like that she rehearsed in a different room. These were her line readings. She had like it mapped out exactly how she was going to say it, and then when the time came for her to say her line, she said it exactly how she practiced and rehearsed, instead of kind of taking that practice and using it to listen, to react to the situation as it's playing out, and have chemistry with the other actors.
Acting is reacting.
Oh, fuck.
Wow.
Mind blown. I just feel like you don't get to see a lot of. She doesn't have a lot of script to back her up. That's one issue. Is like, and it's hard sometimes to like. It's like you're gonna have one moment this whole episode. Otherwise, you've been given nothing to do, and it's just like, okay, I'm gonna do my one line.
Yeah,
That's what it almost feels like.
I've been
It's like, I
putting
got
the-
my one line.
that's true.
Like Q's had more to do. In all the episodes we've watched so far, Q's had way more to do than Yar's had to do.
Seriously.
And he's just been in 2 episodes. That's,
Yeah, you're right. It's not really she's taking the scenes that she has and really doing all she can with them to. I mean, I'm looking at it right here. She's in this scene. The main scene they give her, they ask of her to come to tears. That's not an easy feat to accomplish, especially when you don't really have much of an arc to get there.
yeah.
They're just like, hey, this next scene's kind of a non sequitur, but we need you to start bawling.
We need you to bring it to a 10, even though you've done nothing all episode.
Yeah.
No, it
Oh,
doesn't make sense.
God.
She says it like 3 times. I know it doesn't make any sense.
No.
But it does.
I'm sorry, everyone. sorry, Denise Crosby. Like, bless you. You're a wonderful person.
Yeah.
But man, they did not give you a lot to do.
Oh, what a shame.
It is a shame.
How do we feel about, like, on the flip side, who they do focus on in this episode is Riker. But as I'm watching this episode, it's like, it's interesting. Like, in the first episode, we had much of it, like, it was very much focused on Picard and Q. And that's where the conflict was. And now in this, we get like, so you're coming after Riker, huh? Excellent. Excellent. He'll defeat you the same way I did. How does the Q Riker dynamic work? I guess that's one noticeable difference between, because otherwise it feels very similar. Like, they're in the middle of a mission. Q shows up with the big force field, interrupts their mission, time stops, he creates a little scenario for them, they have to solve the test, and then they go back into their regular mission. It's like the same kind of setup with Encounter at Farpoint. Like, it just kind of happens again on a smaller scale, except it's Riker this time. How does that dynamic work in this?
I think Riker isn't quite as headstrong as Picard. He knows his duties and what he's supposed to do, according to the book. But he doesn't have the experience that Picard has. And you can see throughout the episode, temptation really gets to him. And frankly, I'm not sure that he completes the task that is put upon him in this episode. Mm-hmm. He's given the powers of the Q, and he is asked, to use or not use those. And kind of the point is for him to not. And he ends up using them anyway. The people reject the wishes that he grants, mm-hmm. which is what makes the whole thing fall apart. Mm-hmm. But Riker himself goes through with granting the wishes. Mm. So I don't know. In my mind, he didn't necessarily pass the test. Mm. It is also funny too that shaven Riker has a very stoic, mature attitude, and unshaven Riker has the more like stoic, mature look, but the very immature, kiddish, happy-go-lucky attitude. Mm-hmm. That's kind of a weird dichotomy there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Interesting. I thought really him giving Riker the powers and the whole test, it was really just another attempt to get at Picard more than anything. A roundabout way. Maybe he was told by the Q, okay, this time go back and test the first officer, but he manipulated the situation to try to get at Picard again. Because now for Q, this Q specifically, it's personal. It's getting a little bit personal with this starship captain that he's found. This unusual species. I don't know. That was my take. And I've seen this episode now, like, I swear to the heavens, like 3 times recently. I didn't pick that up, but this time I caught that vapor.
I agree. That was something that I was kind of looking at also, and like, as you're talking about, it's like, yeah, is this actually just another test for Picard? Like, and like, oh, I want to corrupt your first officer and then like make it, it's like, it's all about you, Riker, but it's like, but really looking at how Picard's responding to this. And it's really Picard's like influence and control over the situation that really like breaks the spell. In the end, he walks away. It's like, because he has complete faith in all of his officers not to give in. And because he just has that like steady control and like he projects this calming reassurance. It's like, we're good. And like, that's what ultimately defeats Q and Riker, is that like Picard has faith in his crew. And that's what comes out on top, is that now even Riker with all the power of the Q couldn't surmount the crew of the Enterprise coming against him. Yeah, so I wonder if like, yeah, because I've always looked at this as a Riker episode in the times I've seen it. But now as I'm watching, I'm like, I wonder if this is a Picard episode after all.
Everything about it, like the French army too, going back to Picard's ancestry and things like that. Like he's jabbing at him, trying to get him a reaction.
Yeah, it's a very specific thing he's using. It's like, and he says like, I pulled this from your captain's dreary little mind or whatever, like him wearing the uniform of France and everything. It's like, oh yeah, that's all Picard. But he puts Riker in this situation, interesting. But then the Riker just completely fails miserably.
Kind of, yeah.
Just blowing up the Enterprise or doing something wrong.
He instantly gives in. But I guess it raises the question. It's like, could anyone resist that? Would that even be possible?
No way.
Yeah, I don't think so. Especially when he sees that child die on the planet. It'd be very difficult to, not use your powers to save that person's life in that moment.
Like, here's all the cheat codes to the universe.
Yeah.
Go for it. Have fun.
But when he does use his powers a little bit to save the members of the bridge crew, oh man, he is just in love with himself. He's got...
He looks like he's on the front page of like some romance novel or something. Just...
Yes.
His shirt splayed open and just, I saved the bridge.
His chin turned toward the sky.
Feeling just himself.
Fails instantly. I did learn a little interesting tidbit about this episode, is that it's not really about the episode, and this goes into like the extended canon with like the books and everything. But I guess there's a novel out there, Next Generation novel, Q&A where they reference this episode, and I guess in this unofficial expansion of the canon, it's established in this book that the Continuum originally wanted Q to give the powers to Picard, but Q himself decided, I want to give it to Riker instead. And then part of what you see is like the big kind of blow up between Q and the Continuum. It's like, okay, that's not what we wanted you to do, and you fucked it up. And it just made me wonder, it's like, how would this episode been different if he gives Picard the power, not Riker?
He knows Picard is going to win, I think, and that's not the goal for Q.
Do you think Picard has the willpower to like resist the Q power?
Maybe.
I think it's enough of a question that Q doesn't want to take the chance. He would rather choose what he thinks is a higher likelihood of giving in. And he's right.
You give Picard the Q power, he's going to take over the whole Continuum. He's going to be running the show by like season 5.
Yeah, he'll be some other letter.
We're the Picard Continuum now.
The Picard Continuum.
We're the P's.
We're the P, boy.
We are the P.
It's a working title.
We call ourselves the P.
The P.
For thou must call me that. It's all very much the same thing.
You're the P? Don't be the P.
Why would you be the P?
You know, if you just kind of take Q and just kind of little clockwise, it's basically a P.
No, don't be the P.
That'd be hilarious. Like, Q gives him the power, and Picard's like, excellent. I use my power to go to the heart of the Continuum and give one of my amazing speeches and instantly convert you all to my way. Oh, my God. They can't risk it.
I mean, you're kidding, but I think that is Q's deep down subtext of his fears, is that one day Picard-like individuals will evolve to the point of taking over the Q.
He's just so cynical. Where the Traveler sees the universe as so beautiful, as we saw in the last episode. I don't know if it's going to be the last episode in there.
Yeah. Last time we watched Where No One Has Gone Before, so Traveler was definitely in that episode.
Yeah, it's like the yin and the yang of omnipotent beings in the universe.
You know, we also got Portal in The Last Outpost. And in that situation, Riker was the one who had to prove humanity to Portal. So there's been like 3 examples of these kind of power beings, but they're all a little different. Like, Q is this kind of like, I'm this omnipotent being, and then Portal is like, I'm this last guardian of this empire, and then the Traveler is this kind of like, I just travel through time and space. It's been interesting to see these different little interpretations. Gene Roddenberry loves this idea of like humanity having to prove itself. He's just in love with that idea. Just some greater power in the universe.
Yeah, the idea of an omnipotent being it's difficult to grasp.
Yeah. I do think you're right, Jake. I do think though, like, there's some interesting ideas here, and it's interesting to see some context of why the Q might be interested in humanity. It's like this, like, okay, like, they're not just fucking with him. It's like this kind of like, you guys seem like you might be coming, like, it's like they know something about humanity and they're kind of freaked out by it. And that is interesting, just to kind of like, what, you know, especially if they exist on some sort of like outside of time.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we know that you guys become something really special. And it's like, this is just a point in your time where you're not yet. And we're just kind of like, oh my God. But the script kind of lets it down. Like, it's just kind of like, okay, how very silly though. Like, it feels very TOS 1960s Star Trek. The sets, the cosmic being testing the crew of the Enterprise. It's like, we've kind of done this before. That's, I feel like, the biggest thing holding it back.
Yeah, this creature comes in with this power that is unmatched, and we have nothing else to do but to, listen to them and do what they ask of us. Feels very original series.
And also, it just kind of feels like a repeat of Encounter at Farpoint without really adding much.
Yeah.
It just kind of feels like, here he is again. doing some crazy test, you know. Like, I feel like they haven't really honed in on like what they can do with him as a character yet, even though he's still a really fun character, and John Delancey plays the hell out of that character.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the moral significance of why they keep repeating this story? I mean, is Gene Roddenberry trying to tell people, if we continue on this path of goodness, this blueprint that I've laid out in a way, that we will eventually become these beings that exist outside of a physical world that are all-knowing? Is that where we're trying to reach for?
I think so. Gene Roddenberry at this point in his life was very much into a lot of New Age spirituality, and so he did have a lot of beliefs about, and we've seen it a few times already, humanity, and just in this belief that humanity is just on this path toward some greater, beautiful thing, and you know, humans are inherently like amazing. If we could see past some of this other stuff, and we would achieve this beyond quality. Like at this point in his life, not I think when he created the 60s show, but at this point he very much is a kind of like, he's really into that.
Yeah, and he's been thinking about it for how long? 30 years?
Yeah, years.
Yeah.
And it is, especially in this episode, it's flawed in how it's looking at it. It's still interesting just in the sense that like there's still not really a lot of shows that take that point of view. And just the fact that it's trying to take that point of view, even if it's not always working, is still interesting. That's what they're trying to get across.
Yeah, it is. It's a big idea, and I mean, it's awesome to see it on screen, because some of the other times I've ever discussed ideas like this have been on like psychedelic drugs, or you know, when I'm having very philosophical debates with my friends. So to see it just laid out in a story that even kids can attach to, I love that.
I agree. Doesn't always have to hit out of the park.
No, and it's not going to.
Not a great title either. Hiding Q.
Hiding Q.
Kind of lazy. Doesn't rhyme with seek or nothing.
No.
Hiding Q.
Hiding Q.
Still kind of rolls off the tongue a little
Breakfast with Q.
I mean, it speaks
Q
to
came to dinner.
It speaks to the game nature of it, certainly.
Yeah.
But some of them feel like a little more, just slightly more clever.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Well, yeah. It's not that clever. Yes.
Maybe a good pun, or just like, I don't know, something.
Let's think about the title just a little bit more.
5 more minutes, guys.
And
What
then it's a
else
go.
you got?
Hiding Q.
And it's a green light.
Also, another thing I learned about this one is that Q was not originally supposed to be in Encounter at Farpoint. And we talked about this a little bit when we watched. Originally, it was like they weren't sure if it was to be like an hour or 90 minutes, and so like DC Fontana wrote it just as the Encounter, like the Farpoint stuff with the jellyfish, and that was it. And then it's like, no, it has to be an hour and a half. So Gene Roddenberry came in and like, here's all this Q stuff as like the narrative framework. But Q was not an original idea to that episode. Like, he was supposed to show up originally like halfway through the season for the first time. But then just because he had to, like, we got to put something in there, I'm going to take that Q idea and put it into this episode. And as I learned that, I'm like, yeah, this kind of episode feels like almost like if you had not seen Encounter at Farpoint, they almost could have led with this, just with a few tweaks to the dialogue. This could have also easily been the first Q episode.
Yeah. I blended them in my mind a little bit, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It very much is this grand test idea. And as the Q episodes start going forward, there's always that element to it, but they get much more nuanced and interesting in terms of how they explore how the character interacts with the crew.
I like it better than Encounter at Farpoint because it's more... All of the interesting parts of Encounter at Farpoint are the Q parts. Mm-hmm. And everything else is kind of... Like, we checked out a little bit at certain points.
Absolutely.
I mean, it was a long episode, but anytime Q was on screen, we were engaged.
Mm-hmm.
Engaged. Yeah, that would have been a good one for, like, the riff tracks.
Mm-hmm.
We had some good takes in there.
You know, I think even John Delancey is better in this episode than he is in the first one. Like, I feel like they give, because the focus is on him, he's not just some, in the first episode, he feels much more of this kind of monolith, this force of nature that's come across the Enterprise, and they have no idea what this is. Now, though, it's like, okay, this is clearly some guy up to something. But now he's trying to really get in this chess game with Picard. It's like, okay, now you've kind of hinted, like, you've caught my scent a little bit. Let's see if I can kind of test you just a little bit more. That kind of feels, and so he gets to come alive a little bit more in this one, I think, than in the first one.
And a commitment 1,000% in his performance.
Yeah.
Always.
Seize my vessel, seize my vessel.
Oh, your species is always suffering and dying. He gets in some damn like biter lines. Like, fuck you, dude.
He's an asshole.
He's pretty cruel. He's relatively cruel in this. He doesn't always feel this cruel. But like Wesley dies for a hot second, and so does Worf. It's like, do they remember that? Did they have PTSD of that? Like,
How much does Riker remember of that experience?
Right.
Like how much knowledge did he gain of the great beyond before they zapped him back?
Yeah, all of Wesley's PTSD from being stabbed through the stomach, like seeing himself impaled from behind.
Yeah. It's hardcore shit.
Yeah.
It's hardcore shit.
And I posed this question. I want to bring this to the audience. Are those pig creatures still down on the planet, trapped in that cage that Riker created?
Yes.
Yeah, the simulation's still going, and no one thought to just turn off that planetscape with pig creatures, and they're just, no, what do we do?
They're just trying to figure out how to get out of there and get revenge.
Why are we wearing these uniforms?
The stakes are so much higher than you see in the episode. The moral implications of every Q episode, outnormous. Any final thoughts on Hyde and Q?
If you've never seen this episode, it is worth your time to watch it. I think it's a lot of fun. I think out of some of the terrible episodes of the first season, this is one of the more watchable, enjoyable ones. And a lot of that boils down to the really great performances and chemistry between John Delancey and Patrick Stewart. They're just excellent every time they exchange lines together.
If anybody can find Wesley's sweater, send me a link. I want it.
The gray sweater with like the rainbow top?
Rainbow shoulders.
Rainbow chevronish
shoulder.
thing.
Yeah.
That's freaking awesome.
It's pretty great.
Look at that sucker.
Oh my God, Wesley Crusher. Yeah, I think I agree, Jake. It's like there's something, despite itself, there is good stuff in it. Certainly, Patrick Stewart and John Delancey certainly are the highlight of the episode. Mm-hmm. And for even though like they're just doing that Star Trek Shakespeare thing, it's a really good performance from both of them. Like it's a really fun scene. It's worth it just for that scene, I think. But otherwise, like, yeah, it's you know what it does do? It's even for how silly that first season of Star Trek: The Next Generation is, there's something behind it, and you even like you can watch what they're trying to do. It's like you're not there, guys, but you are on to something. Like keep pushing, keep pushing, keep working it out. Certainly not a total loss, and certainly some fun stuff.
Wesley's wish is to become a hunk.
He wants to be a man.
Just get turned into a hunk.
A man.
A hunk of burn and love.
Hans Bruckner, the Olympic silver medalist swim champion.
No, Captain, I think. Shut up, Wesley. No.
Oh my God!
It's turbo.
Turbo time. And we see East German champion. Yeah.
Come on, Captain, we got to get out of here. We got to do it now. Where's my mom? Q, bring back my mom.
Oh my God! We have got to make this Chat GPT Hide and Q episode a reality. 100% improved. Oh my God. Jake, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Sure, man. Thanks for having me. This was a blast. It's always a blast.
Yeah. Right now, yeah, we joked a little earlier that you are Chief O'Brien, but it's like now you are our most recurring guest on the show. It's official, folks. Jake the Snake. More episodes than anyone else.
Chief.
I want some sort of certificate in a frame.
Next time, we're going to be introduced to another recurring character. We're going to be watching our first Loxana Troy episode. We're going to be watching Haven. Blessed be the wonderful Haven that is Loxana Troy.
Ding!
Probably one of the more polarizing characters in the show for all you people who don't know who she is. So,
Oh yeah, I've been on both sides of that coin.
yeah.
Loved her and hated her.
Loxana Troy, good or bad?
Oh, she's great.
We may never know.
She's so good that you can't stand her.
Fucking Troy's mom. And so buckle up, buckaroos. What a treat we have in store next time. And we'll have a new friend to talk about them with us as well. I think we should have a good time. Until then, we will see you all out there. Hopefully not on some desert planet where you're being used in a pond to see if humanity is worthy of surviving. Please, hopefully we won't see you there.
Probably not. Probably see you at like Panda Express or the library or something
Yeah.
instead.
True test of humanity. I have brought you to Panda Express. Commander Riker.
I'll get the 3-meat treat, but I want it all to be lo mein. He passed.
He ordered the right thing. Oh, yeah. Until next time, we'll see you all at Panda Express. Thanks for listening. If you'd like to share us your own Star Trek story, you can email us at storiedstartrek@gmail.com, or you can visit our Discord server. You can find us by clicking on the link in the show description.